Hello and welcome to another episode of Brettcast Transformers Talk. I know, 2 in 1 day, that's fucking crazy. If you can't tell, we're talking about Transformers toys again this episode, and that's because there's more news about new and upcoming figures that I want to talk about. First, I will talk about the upcoming Transformers Cyberverse toys, and then I will talk about the new Studio Series toys that are coming out. So let's get right to it. So Cyberverse is that upcoming animated TV show that's going to blend a lot of the past cartoons, so obviously a new toy line is going to be coming out along with it. First, we will start with the Scout class, which I guess is something similar to Legends class. And I am going to say that I'm not going to be getting most of these, since I'm not into the gimmicky lines because I can't stand them. First up, we have Bumblebee. Then we have Grimlock. After that, we have Megatron in robot mode only because that's the only picture I could find. Then we have Starscream. Then we have Slipstream, which is a repaint of Starscream. Then we have Optimus Prime, and finally we have Windblade. I'm going to guess that these will cost anywhere around $10, and that's all for the Scout class figures. Next we move to the Warrior class, which I know is similar to Deluxe class since that's what the 2015 RID toys used when they came out. First up is Bumblebee, and wow, this is bad. I mean, look at all the junk on his back and shoulders. It looks terrible. And combine that with the tiny arms, it's just very bad. That light blue stinger thing that reminds me of the weapon that Transformers animated Bumblebee used doesn't help the figure look any better. And I will definitely not be buying this one. Up next is Optimus Prime. I don't really like this one either. The feet and legs are fine, but that grill-looking chest section is very small, and then the window parts on the chest are so big it makes the entire thing look disproportionate. The arms are terrible too, with the hands hidden behind what is the front lights on the vehicle mode, and the wheels just hanging real low on the side of the arms. Like they could have added a hinge and made the wheels fold under the arms and clean them up a bit. I will not be buying this one either. Then we have Shockwave. This is the first one of these that I actually like. The proportions are perfect, the colors are great, that I actually like the pink sections that break up the purple, and they got his gun hand done right. Now the vehicle mode is a little weird, but there's not much you can do with Shockwave in terms of vehicle modes, so it's fine. I will be buying this one for sure. Next we have a Starscream. His entire legs seem way too thin. His null rays shouldn't be connected to the lower arms, but rather under the shoulders, but the worst thing is that face sculpt is weird and ugly looking, so much so that it makes me want to look away. The jet mode isn't half bad, but I've seen better, and I will not be buying this figure. The next one is supposed to be Warrior Class Megatron, but I couldn't find any pictures of this, so I don't have anything for this one. Next is Acid Storm, and I can keep this one short because Acid Storm is a repaint of Starscream right down to the ugly face sculpt, and it's painted green, yellow, and a little bit of purple, and as with Starscream, I'm not going to be buying this one. The last Warrior class figure is Windblade. I actually have nothing bad to say about this one. I think it's a big improvement over the Robots in Disguise Warrior class Windblade. I actually do want to get this one. And it's weird because I have the Generations Thrilling 30 Deluxe class Windblade, but that one is not a take it off the shelf and mess with it kind of figure, so having another Windblade would be nice since I don't like the RID Warrior class one and can't find the Titans Return Deluxe class one. This will have to do. I'm going to guess that all of these Warrior class figures will cost around $20, and that's it for the Warrior class figures. Next we come to the Ultra class figures that I'm going to assume is similar to the Voyager class figures. So the first one we have is Bumblebee, and again, what the heck did they do to make this look so awful? First of all, the windshield on his chest isn't the same as the one on the vehicle mode. Those panels on his arms go too far past his hands. His hands are molded at an awkward angle, and the head sculpt is bad. But the worst defense this figure makes is that the entire top section of the car just hangs off his back, and it's so big and goes all the way to his feet. The vehicle mode is sweet looking, and that's the only good thing I can say about this thing. This thing is a horrendous mess, and I am not going to be getting this one. Next one is Grimlock. So this one is okay. The colors are pretty close to like the G1 colors that Grimlock has, although the gold, quote unquote, color makes it look more like a dark yellow. Anyway, the robot mode is pretty decent, but the claws that are the feet in Dino mode look way too big in the robot mode around the tiny robot mode hands. I don't like the missiles on the shoulders at all. I wish they would have it so you could like push the missiles down into the shoulders so you don't have to see them. And come on! Grimlock doesn't have missile launchers! You just did a Grimlock at Powerful Primes and like, come on! But they got the head sculpt somewhat right, and that's why I am not buying this one, because the Power of the Prime's Voyager class Grimlock is what I have and is much better. So then we have another Starscream. One good thing I can say about this one is that it's better looking than the Warrior class one, but this one is also just as bad looking. Alright, two good things here, and that's that the head sculpt is decent. I really don't like those big missile launchers on the wings, and I wish they'd make them removable because they look terrible on the vehicle mode and robot mode. At least the legs are better looking, and this also does the Starscream thing where the cockpit on the chest in robot mode is a fake, and the actual cockpit is a part of the backpack, but that's a common Starscream thing, so it's not that bad. The jet mode is not the best, as there's that ugly looking spot right behind the cockpit that they could have put something to cover it up. So no, I will not be buying this one either, which is kind of disappointing because I have the War for Cybertron Deluxe class Starscream, but otherwise I have not had a Starscream figure since the 2007 movie, and that was one of those like Legends class ones, whatever, you know, the movies used for Legends class. I'll eventually get Studio Series Voyager class Starscream, but I've never had a Starscream that is in the Generations line. But they've not made a good Starscream since like the classic Starscream. Yes, I know there's Combiner Wars Legends class Starscream, and I have the Skywarp version of that mold in Combiner Wars Leader class one, but I have the Thunder class version of that mold, and that in Power of the Primes there's a Voyager class one which just looks terrible. I've been rambling and we have more to talk about, so let's get on with it. Now there's supposedly an Ultra Class Shockwave, but I can't find any pictures or information on that, so I don't know how true that is. The final Ultra Class figure is Shadow Strike. I get the feeling that this is some new original character and they already made the toy look awful. First, the one good thing is that the vehicle mode looks cool, and that's it. The purple and light blue looks terrible and everything else looks fucking awful. I just can't tell you how god-awful this toy looks, and I need to move on before I barf all over it. And no, I'm not buying this piece of shit toy. I'm going to guess that these Ultra Class figures will cost around $30, and that's all for the Ultra Class figures. The final class we have is the Ultimate Class, which I'm going to guess is like Leader Class. So there are currently only two of these, so I will start with Ultimate Class Optimus Prime. So I do like this one quite a bit. The legs are the correct proportions, and just everything about this is really good looking to me. The one downside is that the robot mode hands are covered in the front by the vehicle mode headlights, but that's okay. The head is a bit long, but that's not bad. It kind of reminds me of the RID Optimus Prime. The vehicle mode is not bad in my opinion. Could be better, but don't mind that the robot mode feet stick up in the vehicle mode, that they could have just thrown in a hinge there so the feet could fold down in the vehicle mode, but again, it's not a big deal. Now depending on the cost, I will be buying this as I wanted to get Power of the Prime's Leader Class Optimus Prime, but I have not been able to spend $50 on that one. And actually the one time I did, I got it one that was missing parts and stuff. So thanks Walmart for that. The final one is the Ultimate Class Megatron. I really like how this Megatron looks, as it is in the normal G1 colors and has the arm cannon, and the robot mode just screams G1 Megatron all the way. Of course the vehicle mode is a tank, and as we've gotten with Combiner Wars of Titans Return, it works as vehicle mode for Megatron since they can't make him a gun like he was in G1. Tank mode looks really cool, and you can pretty much see how he's going to transform by just looking at the picture. His head sculpt is a little bit off, like really cartoony, but that's the only odd thing I can see as everything else is just great, and depending on the cost, I am definitely going to buy this figure. I do have the Titans Return Megatron, but I had to put it in storage, so having this one that is closer to G1 Megatron will be nice. Now, as much as I hope this isn't true, I am going to guess that these will cost around $50. And that's all for the Ultimate Class figures, and all for the Cyberverse figures as well. So the next thing to talk about is the slew of new Studio Series figures that are coming out. These are all Deluxe Class, so I don't have to do any kind of separating by classes. And so, why don't we start this? So the first one is the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Shadow Strike. Now, I don't remember any Decepticons in Age of Extinction named Shadow Strike, and for that matter, I don't remember there being Decepticons in Age of Extinction, period. But I suppose if you wanted to conjure up a movie bot, then Age of Extinction is a good pick with all those unnamed KSI bots running around. So this is an orange and black repaint of the Deluxe Class Lockdown, but this one comes with a different gun. Aside from that, everything is the same as that Lockdown. I will not be buying this one because I was not a fan of that Lockdown figure, even though I've never actually seen it in person or in store, because no store around me actually stocks their toys and keep them up to date. Walmart. But yeah, I'm not buying this one. Next one is the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class KSI Sentry. Oh wow, look at all that creative naming they used for this one. So this one is a black and blue repaint of the Deluxe Class Stinger toy. This one does have a different head that is really nice looking, but everything else is the same as that Stinger toy. Now, I've contemplated getting Studio Series Stinger multiple times, but don't. But I do have a thing with things that are the color blue, and it's worse when it's blue with black, so I may get this one because of that reason. The next one is the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Ratchet. I really don't have much to say about this because it's a slight repaint of the Wave 1 Ratchet toy. Like, I think the green on this one is darker than the first movie Ratchet, and all those gray areas of paint are where the big difference is. The only other difference is that this Ratchet comes with the gun he used in Dark of the Moon. As I already have the Wave 1 Ratchet, I will not be buying this one. The next one is a brand new one for the new movie, and that is the Transformers Bumblebee Deluxe Class Dropkick. We don't really get enough helicopter vehicle mode Transformers, and that's a shame because it's really cool. I really like this figure, and he looks cool in his robot mode and helicopter mode. I hope the gray isn't left in that really bad molded gray plastic color, but that they actually paint it gray. And I like the small amount of blue paint used as well. I really like those guns on his arms, and I just really like this figure a lot. I will definitely be buying this figure. Saving the big boy for last, we have the Transformers Bumblebee Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, I do like this figure a lot. I'm not sure if the face is just the battle mask or if that's something that one could raise and lower, and maybe he has his actual face underneath of it. I'm not sure if that gun is the molded part of the lower arm section, or if it's attachable. I really like that knife on the other arm too, and I like this figure as a whole. The vehicle mode looks great too, but I have a concern about this figure. I really hope that they made a new mold for this figure and didn't use the same mold as the Wave 3 Last Night Bumblebee and Wave 1 Studio Series Bumblebee did. I say this because I was not really into that mold, especially when they used it for Studio Series Bumblebee, and made that one have more problems than I like to have to deal with. It's hard to tell from the pictures if they did a remold or a new mold, but I am thinking, after looking at the two mentioned Bumblebee figures, that this is a new mold. I've been looking to get a really good movie Bumblebee, as I have not had one since I had the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class one. Ended up selling that and still wish I had kept that one. And that means I will be buying this figure. And that's it for new Studio Series stuff. So that's all of the new Transformers toys that are coming out, hopefully soon. let me know in the comments which of these that you're going to be getting. That's all I have to say, so if you want to add the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.